Guys, Stephanie here. So I am going to show you an amazing tip that I learned for the interview transcription for our qualitative research class. So if you have put off doing your transcript or if you're having a hard time with it, this is going to save you a ton of time. So first we start by going to Zoom and go to your recordings. Okay, so here is my recording of my interview from when I did it. And you're going to scroll all the way to the end and look for the three little dots. So I'm clicking on the three little dots, and then I'm going to do download, and it's going to download all three files. So it's going to download an MP4, an M4A, and something else. I think that's like a transcript or it's all the text. But you really just need the one that's the sound, which is the MP4. All right, so now I'm going to go to Microsoft Office by going to office.com. And if you are a student or if you use it for school, either way, you're going to log in and you want to make sure that you're using the online version because for what we're going to do, this only works in the online version. It doesn't work in the actual downloaded version of the Word app. So I'm going to go to the online Word app and I'm going to go to New Blank Document. And from here, once it loads, it's a handy little tip that I promise is going to change your life if you didn't already know about it. And now I'm going to go to, and then you're going to go to the home menu up at the top if you weren't already there. So I'm going to click on home, and then all the way to the right, you're going to see this little microphone where it allows you to dictate. So if you are making a lecture for kids or if you're doing something where you want to have it dictate your writing, that's really handy. But what we're going to do is click on the little drop down arrow and then click on transcribe. So now it's going to pop this window up on the side and it wants you to transcribe. And now you're going to do upload audio. So you could also do this during your interview and do start recording, but you're going to go to upload audio. And then from here is where you're going to choose your file. So for this one, it's this GMT, bunch of numbers, something, MP4. MP4 is the video. M4A is the actual sound. So that's what I want. And it's going to upload and it's going to take a little bit. So you're going to want to give it some time to upload. Just give it a few minutes. Just keep your eye on it. All right, so you can see I've been sitting here for a little bit, watching it transcribe. You do want to leave this window open like it says while it's transcribing, because if you close it, it's going to stop. So I can see here's the actual sound. I can play it if I want to. But what we are going to do, it says your transcript is safe. You can close this pane and the document. We'll come back to it later. But now I'm going to click add to document. And I want everything. So you can choose just the text with the speakers, with timestamps. I'm doing both with the speakers and the timestamps. All right, so it's going to add it. It does take a second to load it, so you do want to give it a little bit. All right, and now we can see everything is here. And so I have all my transcript in my document. All right, so I'm going to close that pane on the side. Let me move myself over. And you will notice it has some editor suggestions. And then you will notice that it is going to have it in a ton of pages. So you do want to go in and clean that up. But first, I'm going to delete this extra because I don't need that unless you want to leave it. Totally up to you. And I'm going to add interview transcript to it. And now I'm going to make sure. So speaker 1 is me and speaker 2 is the person I was interviewing. I'm going to close that. I don't need it. And I'm going to do Control F for the find. And I'm going to do search for speaker 1. And then I'm going to click on the three little dots and do replace. So it's going to search for speaker 1 and replace that with my name. So now it's showing all the times it sees speaker 1. And I'm going to put my name there. And then I'm going to do replace all. Bam. So there's all that. Now I'm going to do speaker 2. And the person that I interviewed was Nikki Robertson. Done. And now I'm going to do replace all. Perfect. Now that that's done, I'm going to close that up. And so what I did, I actually copy pasted this to Google Docs just because I work better in Google Docs than in Word, but that, that's up to you. Anyway, so then I pulled up the actual recording and did a side-by-side window so that I could watch the recording of my interview and then just made sure everything matched up. So you can go through and just clean up your transcription, make sure everything matches because it does get some words wrong. So for instance, I know there's a little bit here. So like here with self-efficacy, it does have your grammar checks, but there's some things like this where there was a pause between what Nikki said. So it has multiple lines of her speaking. So it's completely up to you, but you can change those and put them into one line if you want. So there was a lot of deleting when I did this like that. And then you do have to fix your grammar. So you can do that. And then there's some things where like she said, and so you can leave the ums if you want. I left them just to show the humanity in the interview. But then there's other things where she would answer questions and it wouldn't get the word quite right. And so I just went in and made sure to fix all that before I submitted it. So just make sure you go through your entire transcription. Don't just trust it on its own, but just go in and clean it up. So that is my tech tip for today. It is super duper helpful for transcription, especially for this interview. So if you need any more help, let me know and I'm happy to help. Bye.